Hi everyone, happy Friday. It's Pamela Ferguson. Welcome to Naked News, and it's not that kind of naked. Naked News is where we delve into skincare and we strip away all the preconceived notions that everyone has about skincare and just life in general. So today is a skincare night. I'd like to welcome everyone from coming on. Thanks for coming. And I want to quickly tell you about a VIP club that I have where if you text REAL PF, my initials, to 51660, you get some free promos and specials that go on. There's no commitment or anything. It just becomes a member of my VIP club. So today we're talking about the difference between hydration and moisture. And it's one of those things it's really confusing, and I felt that I was confused as well. I had a hard time distinguishing or understanding the difference, so I thought, this is a perfect Naked News to do because even myself, I was like, okay, I'm not quite clear on that. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I want to say, first of all, who has what they refer to as, I think I'm all sideways here. There we go. A product graveyard. A product graveyard in their bathroom. And I think a lot of you probably have a product graveyard, as I did as well. And what is that from? It's from you're standing in the department stores in front of the counters, or you're looking in the drugstore and you're looking down this aisle of zillions of products that say all sorts of different things. You might find hundreds that say for dry skin. So you're like, okay, well, I really don't have a clue of what I need or what's good for me. So it's very easy to end up with a bunch of stuff in your house that, first of all, either didn't work, but maybe it's not even the product that you were supposed to buy in the first place. So that's a problem right there. You need to know what you need. So back to moisture and hydration. So in general, your skin is an organ. I know it's weird, right? It's an organ just like your liver and all those things. It's the largest organ. So you can understand that water can affect how the skin looks. That's why people are always saying, you've got to drink more water, you know, all these things you need to drink more water, which is a wonderful, wonderful thing. So it's important what you eat and what you drink to put in your body. So if you have somebody who never drinks enough liquids in general, you will see it on their skin. You can tell their skin just looks kind of, you know, when you have mud and it gets dehydrated and you can see like the cracks, everything in it, those wrinkles will come out. It just looks dull and not as shiny and more wrinkly, and that's because you are lacking water in your skin. Now let's talk about, okay, so how much water should we drink in general? Generally, it's you take your weight, you divide it by 2, and that's how many ounces you need. So if you weigh 100 pounds, I wish, that would be 50 ounces a day that you would need to drink of water, to give you a rough estimate, right? You know, it's important to try to get around that amount. Now, if you have pre-existing conditions for years of lacking hydration or water in your skin, that's not something water is necessarily going to cure, definitely not immediately. Maybe long-term effects. You also need to do internally and topical. Thus the conversation we're having now, things that go on your skin. It's really big now where they say, oh, make sure you apply this when your skin is still wet. Now, why do they do that? Hey, Rebecca. Hey, Carolyn. You do that to help keep in the water, the hydration that your body's getting. So we have two different areas here. We have the hydration that the body needs to actually, you know, look more supple, and then you have the moisture that's kind of the barrier that helps keep it in. So those are the two things. One is more directly on the skin, and one is like a protective barrier, so to speak. Okay, what else? I wrote some notes to make sure I wouldn't forget anything. Okay, the ingredients in the products make all the difference in the world. So if you are standing in that big line at the grocery store or the cosmetic place or wherever it is, and you have zero idea of what to get, the ingredients are important. So if we're talking about, let's talk about hydration. Go back to high school or middle school nowadays. Hydro means water, right? Hydro means water. So that means if you want your skin to be hydrated, you need more water. So there are certain ingredients. Some really common ones related to hydration are glycerin. It sounds bad, but it's not. And the other one is hyaluronic acid, which also sounds scary, but these are both found naturally in the body. But what happens as we age, sucks to be us, as you age, you lose that over time. When you're young, you have a ton of it, and that's why you look so fresh-faced. As you get older, you lose that. So that's a reason to look for it in your product. So hyaluronic acid and glycerin. Those are really good ones when we're talking hydration. So the thing about hydration is that is what keeps the skin, okay, I had a great soft. But if you get hydration in your skin but you don't moisturize, it won't stay that way. It won't stay that way. So you want the moisture over top to keep the hydration in. And I mentioned that before, it's like the cover, right, for the moisture. So if you have skin that is hydrated, but it's not moisturized, it still might be flaky and you still might have a rough texture. You really need both of these working together. And then we need to be both hydrated and moisturized to really treat your skin the best it can be. So if you are talking about moisture, we mentioned that when you're dehydrated, you lack water. If you are dry skin, what do you lack? Oil. You lack oil. So, you know, gone are the days that people used to think, well, I can't use any products that are too heavy because it's going to cause me to break out. The flip side is if your skin is excessively dry, your body is super smart. It says, I must send oil, I must make oil to lubricate the skin. So you're actually doing the opposite of what you are trying to accomplish. Now, obviously, if you have really, really bad acne and issues like that, you want to try more oil control things. But if it's just general skin and that's not your issue, you don't need to look for low oil in a moisturizer. Okay, so, you know, that's a misconception that you think that you have to stay away from those because over drying can cause you to produce more oil. The other thing is to remember is skin that is moist heals quicker. Thus, you know how things in your mouth, if you bite the side of your cheek or you have a cut, heals much faster in your mouth than other places. So if it's dry, it's going to be much harder for it to heal. That's why you put like vasopressin or something like that on a scab to help, or, you know, an injury to help heal it. All right, so we talk about multi-med therapy, and what that means is the right ingredients in the right order. So for example, you're going to use a cleanser. Immediately, you're not going to, okay, I've got to wait for my face to be dry or I'm going to dry off my face. No, there's a reason those ingredients in that order work specifically to go one immediately after the other. Number one, that's good because it takes you less time and you don't have to wait between. So, okay, you've washed your face, cleanser. Immediately, depending on the regimen you're using and your skin issues, if your regimen has a toner, and unless you have sensitive skin, you should have a toner. It's amazing, and it does a zillion things I can list off, but I'm not going to do it here. But if you wonder, you can ask me later and I'll tell you. So cleanser immediately following the toner. Before it's even dry, you can put on, maybe you have a hydration serum or maybe you have a retinol serum. You can put it on immediately after and then follow it with a moisturizer. You do not need to let each step dry. Same thing with the way they're saying is, oh, when your skin is still wet, apply this lotion. It's the same exact recommendation. Multi-med therapy. The right ingredients in the right order. How do you know what ingredients you need? Is your skin dry? Is it dehydrated? Even if you have oily skin, you still need hydration and you still need moisture. You do. You need all of those things. Now, obviously, people could have special concerns. They might have sensitive skin. They might have other issues that they want to tackle. And you can deal with hydration and moisture in different ways. One moisturizer will not work for everyone. It won't, because it needs to be specific to your skin. So when you are standing in that aisle, looking at all those choices, how do you know which one is for your skin? And you say, okay, well, I have dry skin. Do you have dry skin? That's a good question. I used to think I had dry skin. Two things happened. I exfoliated, voila, no more dry skin, number one, and dry skin is lacking moisture as well. So, if you're using something specifically to dry skin, it might be extra moisturizing that you might not need because your skin is not actually dry. You're keeping it too dry, so you're having issues because of that. So you really need a recommendation from someone, dermatologist, somebody who knows about stuff that can say, okay, this is the products you should use for you. Like I know my company, we do like an online consultation with our doctors. And they ask you some specific questions, and then they say, okay, these are the products we recommend for you. So you are not having to be like, okay, sure, this one looks good. It's the cheapest one. It says it's going to work on sun damage. I'll give it a try. Those are the things that sit in your product graveyard. No more product graveyard. Throw that away, especially if you're not using it. Because if you're not using it and you've had it for a long time, it's not going to be good anyway. And you need to get the products that work for you. So again, my recommendation is your cleanser, your toner, some hydration, some sort of serum or hydration depending on you, and I'll have to throw in the eye cream here. I will, because that's around the edges of our eyes where you see it first, and then your moisturizer. Of course, this is at night. Remember, during the day, you're still going to use a moisturizer. But what is the difference? It's going to have SPF in it to protect from the sun, versus the nighttime, which is obviously you're not going to have SPF in it. It's not good for your pores to sleep in SPF. So the bottom line is you need both. You need hydration and moisture. Again, quick difference. Hydration, you are lacking water. Moisture, you are lacking oil. Like if you're dry, you're lacking oil. And if you are dehydrated, you're lacking water. But thanks for coming on today. I'm so glad. Hopefully you learned something new, and it's a constant reminder that I need to do to differentiate between those two. And if you're interested in doing our water challenge in our private group, please reach out to me. I can make sure to add you, and that's going to be amazing. It's all about, the whole group is about self-love, not just skincare, but it's all sorts of things. It's positivity, the water challenge, and other things as well. But you can also check out my website at www.realpamelaferguson.com. Well, have a great Friday and good weekend. And if you need anything, recommendations, reach out, give me a heart, right? And I will talk to you soon. Have a good one.